This is not an induced process. We are not changing any temperature or pressure. This is a spontaneous process taking on its own. You can see the water molecules and see the surface of the water. Some molecules of water are evaporated. This process is known as evaporation. Now, what is evaporation and how we can define it? How we can define exactly? These definitions are very important in science. We all know, according to the kinetic molecular theory of gases, that particles of matter are never at rest. Even in solid state, when there is very less space between the particles of matter, they cannot move, but they vibrate at their own place. In solid state also, there is no space in between them to move, but they vibrate at their own places. So we can conclude from this that the particles of matter are never at rest, and they possess different amounts of kinetic energy. Like in solid state, they have less kinetic energy. In liquid state, they have little more. And in gaseous state, they have the maximum kinetic energy. So the particles of liquid have more kinetic energy. Therefore, they are able to overcome the forces of attraction and convert into vapor without any external force. External force means what? We are not applying any heat. We are not increasing the pressure. Still, they will overcome the forces of attraction and they will leave the surface. So this phenomena of change of a liquid into vapor at any given temperature below its boiling point. This is very important. Below its boiling point is called evaporation. It is not boiling. See, you can see in the figure, difference between evaporation and boiling. What is evaporation? It is happening on its own spontaneous process. There is no change in temperature. When the vapor pressure is less than the atmospheric pressure, bubbles cannot form and the molecules, they leave the surface of water on their own. But when we change the temperature, when we increase the temperature and the vapor pressure becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure, bubbles can form, and that is known as boiling. There will be a question in the textbook and there will be a question in the worksheet also. What is difference between evaporation and boiling? So I hope you understood. When vapor pressure is less and the atmospheric pressure, vapor pressure is from inside. Vapor pressure is from inside the liquid. So that is not there. When we are not increasing any temperature, there is no vapor pressure. So when vapor pressure is less, then the bubbles are not formed and it is a spontaneous process. There is no change in the temperature. It takes place on its own at any room temperature. And boiling is when we supply some heat from outside and the vapor pressure becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. That is known as boiling. Now, what are the factors that affect the evaporation? Means when the evaporation will be more and when the evaporation will be less. So it is very obvious that if you increase temperature, the rate of evaporation will increase. We can understand it with the common example. When we dry clothes outside during summer season, the clothes dry faster because the rate of evaporation is more. Why the rate of evaporation is more? Because the temperature is more. But during winter season, the clothes do not dry as fast as compared to they dry in the summer season, because in winter season temperature is less, so the water from the clothes is evaporated at a lower rate. So that is why we can conclude from this that as the temperature increases, the rate of evaporation also increases. I hope you understood. As the temperature increases, the rate of evaporation also increases. Right? Now the surface area. Surface area, what is surface area? Tell me. Hello. This also I will explain with the example of drying clothes only. Suppose you spread a cloth on the string in a folded way, and you spread the cloth, you spread it properly. It is not in folded way. So when you spread it properly, extended spread, so what will happen? Surface area of the cloth will increase. But if you fold it and hang it on the string, then the surface area will be less. So the folded cloth will dry later, but the cloth in comparison to the folded cloth, if you spread it in the extended form, it will dry faster. Why? Because the surface area increases, and the rate of evaporation also increases. I can explain you with another example. You keep the same amount of water, 100 ml water in a glass, and you keep 100 ml water in a dish, in a big dish. So you will see that the 100 ml water which is kept in glass will evaporate at a lesser rate, but the one which you have kept in a big dish, that will be evaporated faster. Why? Because the surface area is more. Similar common everyday example. When we sip tea from the cup, it is hot, it is difficult. So we pour it in the saucer. When we pour it into the saucer, the surface area increases. Surface area increases, so the rate of evaporation increases. So it gets cold easily. That is why we drink tea usually when we are in a hurry and we want to sip it faster. So we pour the tea from the saucer to from the cup to the saucer, and it becomes cold and we can drink it easily. The next important factor which we can see is humidity. What is humidity? Children, start talking. Hello? Hello, Preeti?
Yes, ma'am.
Everything is audible?
Yeah.
Okay, I am feeling that I am only speaking.
No, they have put everything on mute.
Okay, fine. Humidity is the amount of moisture present in the air, right? So the areas which are near sea beaches, like our Surat, we are near the sea beach. Humidity, the amount of water vapor in atmosphere is more. That is why we call that air is humid. But the areas which are farther from sea, like in the northern parts, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, there they are farther from the sea beach. So in those areas, the amount of moisture in the air is less humid. So if we compare during the same season, no, if we spread the clothes in Surat and if we spread the clothes in Delhi, the Surat clothes will dry later, and the in the northern parts the clothes will dry faster. Why? Because there the humidity is less. So humidity is less, it means the rate of evaporation is more. But in Surat, because the atmosphere is more humid, so the rate of evaporation is less and the clothes they dry at a slower rate. Similarly, on a windy day, you can see that clothes can, I am giving you a very common example, everybody can understand from it. On a windy day, when there is wind in the air, the clothes dry faster because the rate of evaporation is more. But when there is no wind, the clothes dry at slower rate because because of no wind, the rate of evaporation is less. So increase in wind speed results in increased evaporation. These are the four important factors. One is temperature, surface area, humidity, and wind speed, which will affect the rate of evaporation. Have you understood this much? Anyone can speak and tell me.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So this is the four factors which affect the rate of evaporation are temperature, surface area, humidity, and the speed of wind. Now, there are many common examples of Evaporation causing cooling. I gave you just one example of tea. When we are drinking tea from cup, it is hot, but when we pour it into the saucer, because of evaporation, it becomes cool. Similarly, during olden days, now these practices are not there because we have air conditioners, we do not sleep outside. But when there were no air conditioners, the electricity was not available as it is available 24/7 now. So during summer season, what people used to do, they sprinkle water in the summer season outside their homes or on their terraces. So what happens, the this sprinkling of water made the atmosphere cool, because the hot air which is present in the atmosphere, because of this sprinkling water, it is evaporated and the atmosphere becomes cool. Similarly, when hot water is poured from a narrow container to a broader container, because of evaporation, it becomes cool. Now, why it happens? What happens during this? Why evaporation causes cooling? Similarly, you see this earthen pots at your home, जिसको मटका बोलते हैं हम, right? In that, water becomes cool during summer season or winter season. What happens? Because from the pores of the earthen pot, the water is evaporated, and this evaporation makes the water cool inside the earthen pot. So what happens during this? What happens during this? The process of evaporation uses the energy of the liquid particles. And when the energy is less, it means their temperature is low. That is why it results in the cooling of the surrounding area. This concept is actually little difficult to understand in the initial stage, but when you will read it properly, and if possible today, otherwise tomorrow, I will show you the video related to this, how evaporation causes cooling. You can see in this figure. See, in this figure, you can see these are the particles inside, right? And these are the particles outside. Now, during evaporation, what happens? These particles are having more energy, so they are leaving the surface. Now, these particles which are on the surface, they are having medium energy. If they will have more energy, they can leave surface. But if they are will be having less energy, they will be pulled back. Now, when they are pulled back inside the liquid, what will happen? The temperature will become less, and that is why this will become, the surface will become cool and the liquid inside will
Lower.
become cool. Yeah, lower temperature. So that is why evaporation causes cooling effect. You understood, children, how evaporation causes cooling effect? Nine.
Yes, ma'am.
Little bit. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now these are the example of evaporation only. Do you have any experience of nail paint remover? Boys might not be having, but girls are having. When we apply nail paint remover, which is actually acetone, in like we call it as acetone. Acetone is a nail paint remover. So when we apply nail paint remover on our nails, we have a cooling effect. What happens during that? Because this acetone evaporates easily. If you keep the bottle of nail paint remover open, what you will see that it is evaporated very quickly. So because this acetone, when we apply on our nail paint, it evaporates. That is why it causes a cooling effect on our nails. This example I told you, people sprinkle water on their roofs or ground on sunny days to cool the area. Because when we sprinkle water, water takes up the heated air of the atmosphere and it is evaporated. Because of this evaporation, the ground becomes cooler. And this example also I gave you, we are able to sip hot tea faster in a saucer than a cup because the surface area increases, the rate of evaporation increases, and that is why the tea becomes cool. Now this is also one of the important example of evaporation, why people wear cotton clothes in summer. What happens during summer season? We perspire a lot, right? Now, if this sweat, whatever perspiration is happening, if it evaporates, you see when in Surat, we have lot of humid atmosphere, humidity is more. So we perspire more because the sweat is not evaporated. Because of more humidity, the rate of evaporation is less. I told you, one of the factor affecting the evaporation. If the atmosphere is more humid, evaporation is less. So when evaporation is less, the sweat will not be evaporated. So in summer season, cotton absorbs, we wear cotton clothes, that cotton clothes absorbs the sweat easily. If it is not absorbing, the clothes are not absorbing the sweat, it will not come in contact with the atmosphere and it will not be evaporated. The sweat will be on our body itself, which will make us feel very uncomfortable. If we are wearing synthetic clothes do not absorb our sweat. So that is why the sweat doesn't come in contact with the atmosphere and that is not evaporated. So we feel very uncomfortable. So that is why we prefer wearing cotton clothes, because perspiration happens. The sweat which is released from the body is absorbed by the cotton cloth, and then cotton cloth is in contact with the atmosphere. So that sweat comes in touch with the atmosphere and it is evaporated so easily. So that is why we keep ourselves cool by wearing cotton clothes in summer season. Then the next example is why we see the water droplets on the surroundings of a glass with ice cold water. We have seen, no, when we take ice cold water in a glass or a tumbler, or if we take normal water, we see that in the steel tumbler, if you take that, there will be small droplets outside the glass. So from where are they coming? Because water inside the glass is cold, it is coming in contact with the atmospheric air, and the atmospheric air is converted into liquid because of the temperature, less temperature, and that air converts into liquid and appears in the form of droplets outside the tumbler or the glass. Can anybody explain this once again? Why we see the water droplets on the surroundings of a glass with ice cold water?
And the water vapors present in the air condense due to the ice cold water, and then they result in
Yes.
tiny droplets
Yeah, very
appearing
good.
on the walls of
Of the
glass.
glass, right? So this all things you have to read it, then only you will remember. Okay. So have you understood till here, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because your book is not visible today in this in the computer, so I will tell you from the book that we have completed page number 9. One by one, please tell me that what are the factors which affect rate of evaporation. Harshil, I'll call out the name. Harshil, tell me the first factor which affect the rate of evaporation. Unmute yourself and tell.
Ma'am, reach also.
Hello? I
Ma'am,
told you.
reach.
What is the first factor which affects the rate of evaporation? I told you how many. Tell me that first.
Ma'am, reach also.
4. Right. So tell me anyone.
Temperature.
Temperature. How does it affect?
Humidity. Surface area.
Temperature
droplets,
Temperature,
Area. Wind speed.
temperature, humidity, surface area, and wind speed. Right.
Wind speed.
Yes.
So temperature increases, then the rate of evaporation.
increase.
Okay. Humidity increases, rate of evaporation.
Increase.
Decrease.
Decrease.
Ma'am, it decreases.
When humidity is more, the rate of evaporation is less.
Less.
You know the terms inversely proportional, directly proportional.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
What is inverse proportion? If something, if we are comparing two quantities or the two things, inverse proportion means if one is increasing, the other should decrease.
Yes.
And direct proportion means if one is increasing, the other will also increase.
Yes.
So we can say that humidity is inversely proportional to the rate of evaporation. If humidity increases, rate of evaporation decreases.
Decrease.
Yes, if humidity decreases, rate of evaporation increases.
Increases.
So two things, temperature and humidity. The third factor is
Surface area.
surface area. So how it affects the rate of evaporation?
Increase.
Surface area increases, the rate of evaporation.
Increase.
Okay, the fourth factor is
Wind speed. Wind speed.
So if the speed of wind increases,
Increase.
increases the rate of evaporation. Okay. Now the next question I am going to ask is, how does evaporation cause cooling? What example did I give you? Evaporation causing cooling?
Ma'am,
Four
acetone.
examples.
Ma'am,
Acetone.
acetone. Then we sprinkle water on our roofs and near
Yeah.
our house to cause cooling.
Then we can easily drink tea from a saucer in comparison of a cup, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what happens? Evaporation, how does it causes cooling in a more broader or an open vessel? What happens during this process? The liquid absorbs energy from the atmosphere. One more example, common example I gave you. The water in the earthen pot is cooler than the water in any other vessel, steel container. Why the water cools in the earthen pot? Earthen pot has many pores in it. जो मटका होता है ना, मिट्टी का, there are many pores in it. Yes. And what happens? The atmosphere, air circulate, it comes in contact, and that air is evaporated, and because
Water.
of this, the water inside the earthen pot becomes
cooler. Cooler.
So in short, I will tell you what happens during this. The particles of liquid, they absorb energy from the surroundings. What happens during absorption? The particles of liquid, they absorb energy from the surroundings to regain the lost energy, and that is why the atmosphere becomes cool. The absorption of energy from the surroundings takes place. So it makes the atmosphere cool. So this is now, then I told you, why should we wear cotton clothes in summer? Why should we wear cotton clothes in summer?
Because
ma'am, it will not feel hot.
But
No.
what happens?
Ma'am, cotton clothes will absorb our sweat easily, and then it will evaporate in the atmosphere, and it will cool.
Yeah.
And synthetic
our
not.
bodies.
Yes, and synthetic clothes will not do that. I'll repeat once again. When we wear cotton clothes in summer, the sweat is absorbed by the cotton clothes and it is evaporated. So we feel cool. because evaporation also always causes cooling. But synthetic clothes will not do that. That is why we wear cotton clothes in summer. And cotton also is a very good absorber of heat. It is a good absorber of water, not heat. Synthetic clothes are good absorber of heat. That is why we feel that it is cotton clothes are more comfortable. Then I asked you, why do we see water droplets on the outer surface of a glass containing ice cold water?
Why?
Why do we see water droplets on the outer surface of water containing ice cold water?
Because the water is evaporated and it gets formed on the upper layer of glass.
No, because the atmospheric air, when it comes in contact with the ice cold water, because of less temperature, the air in gaseous state gets converted to liquid,
To liquid.
and it appears in the form of droplets on the outside surface of water. Understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Now there are 5 questions in your book after this. The fifth question is, what type of clothes should we wear in summer? What will be the answer?
Cloth.
Cotton.
Cotton cloth.
You have to give reason also, right?
Because
So you have to give reason also in this. Then the next question is, why are we able to sip hot tea or milk faster from a saucer rather than a cup? That also you can answer. I have explained you.
yes,
Now the last part of the chapter is plasma and the Bose-Einstein condensate. I'll explain you this and we will finish with the chapter.
oh, time is over.
No, today time is not over. Nobody will leave the class. We have unlimited time now. Till this slide, can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Till here we have studied. Now the last thing is, we studied about the 3 states of matter, solid, liquid and gas, right? But our
Yes, ma'am.
scientists have discovered that there are 2 more states of matter, and these are known as plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. What is plasma? See now, what is plasma and what is Bose-Einstein condensate? See, plasma, yesterday I told you, it is the ionized form of gaseous state. Did I tell you yesterday?
Yes,
When we heat gases, they are getting converted into, they lose electrons and we get positively charged particles, and electrons are present in this. This state of gas is known as plasma. Where it is present?
ma'am. It is present in stars like sun
And
in lightning.
And in the board
Lights.
signs, neon, right? Neon, that board signs are there. So this is one of the fourth state of matter. Now, if we cool solids to a temperature very less, it becomes more intact, and that is known as Bose-Einstein condensate. So these are the 2 new states of matter which scientists have discovered now. Till now, we were discussing only about the 3 states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. But there are now 2 more states of matter, one beyond solid and one beyond gases. Beyond gases, when the gases are heated more, then they get converted into ions, which is known as plasma. And when we solidify solids more, they get converted into Bose-Einstein condensate. Right? Right, children?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now plasma, it is a state of matter in which the particles are super excited and super energetic, and they are in the form of ionized gases. For example, fluorescent tubes, neon light bulbs consist of plasma. The neon bulbs, they contain neon gas, and there is another gas which is helium present in fluorescent tubes, the tube lights which are present at your home. As electricity is passed in the tube or the bulb, these gases gets ionized and they create the plasma which glows and which we see in the form of light. In fact, the sun and the stars glow because they have plasma present in them. So these are some of the examples of plasma, like stars, lightning, neon light, and plasma TV. Plasma is also a state of matter consisting of free charge particles like lightning, solar wind, fluorescent light, nuclear fireball. All these are the examples of plasma. Bose-Einstein condensate, it is the fifth state of matter, which was, why it is known as Bose-Einstein? Because it was discovered by Albert Einstein on the basis of studies conducted by an Indian scientist, Satyendranath Bose. That is why it is known as Bose-Einstein condensate, and it is formed by condensing gases of extremely low densities to much lower temperature. As I told you, when solids, they are condensed more, they are getting converted to Bose-Einstein condensate. So this is the end of your